Hello, all you cosmic travelers and wanderers. This is Darlene and Melissa Waterman, inviting you to join us today in our episode of Expansion from Within, Exploring Multidimensionality.
Welcome back. I took a little hiatus. I moved my location from one place to another, and it took a little more energy of mine than I expected. I appreciate everybody hanging in there while we played 2 replays. And now we are back. We're here. We're going to be talking about freedom one more time. We have a little message from the Evolves, and that will finish up our topics on freedom. And then we'll go, maybe next session will be on Dharma. We'll see what happens next.
That sounds good. It's good to see you, Melissa.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I feel like I want to apologize for making people wait for the last section of freedom, but boy, when you move, you have to put all that energy right into moving.
And we're all moving in one direction or another, right? So we get it.
It's true. It's a time of transformation, and this was a big one for me. So I have my feet back under me.
Good.
All right, so let's start. I think you have something that directly from the Evolves for us.
Yeah, so a little bit of background is that for 2024, the Evolves came in and said that our first 3 months we'll be working with in the Cosmic Travelers group that we meet once every the third Sunday of every month, is that we're going to be working on freedom, dharma, and wisdom. And so Melissa and I had talked about freedom for the last few times, and then they came in with what freedom means to them or how they express it. So I'm going to read that from them. The freedom to exist has always been the intention of Source. However, the need for the right to exist is exactly what is being acted out today. Currently, humans are coming from a deeply wounded ego in their attempts to reassert their right to exist. The accumulation of your long life history is in the spotlight and needs to be addressed. Unless there is accountability, responsibility, and restitution for what was, the future will take longer to be manifested. You are in the cosmic order pathway, whose agenda is for the loving evolution of humanity and Earth. It will take as long as it takes to disengage humanity from its past. We are patient in holding you firmly in our hearts, as many of you co-create the future of your dreams. So we want to address some of that today, correct?
Yeah, I think it's such a powerful message. I mean, when I really, I've gotten to listen to it now a couple times as we prepared for this session, and it's our deeply wounded egos and our attempt to reassert our right to exist. Like, that's huge. That's a very huge piece of work for all of us to do. I just think this is a very powerful piece. I think the first question that comes to my mind is, you are in cosmic order. Can we just talk a little bit about what this cosmic order is? I hear it come up, and I want to know a little bit more about it.
So cosmic order is that it's a template, right? It's coming in this timeline, not only because of what humanity and Earth needs, but the stars are aligned, the planets are aligned. This is not just happening to Earth. This is coming in our solar system. This is coming in more so bigger than our solar system. It's a galactic kind of shift. And so the cosmic order is a place that brings the identity of who we are forward. It brings our missions, like we'll be talking about the Dharma and what is that to each one of us, but it brings in a sense of structure, right, in our evolution, to bring that in as a template that we can lean into, that we can have assurance about, that we can have a knowing that there is something that is offering this. That doesn't mean it's easy. Like there is no rescuing in this of what we've created through the millions of years that we've been here. There isn't a rescuing of that. We have to own that. We have to be accountable for that. Cosmic order brings that in. Like it's not given to us. Like the restitution and whatever we have to do to right ourselves in some way, you know, to upright ourselves, it's not given to us by rescuing us, or we as a civilization, as a species, we are trained that we won't learn from that. If we're rescued, you know, some of us will take that for granted and continue on the path of creating something that doesn't benefit the all. So cosmic order is the template. It's the foundation of our original way of being, our original creation of being all of that with a heartfelt space, with a mind that can co-create, but think forward. You know, how do we think forward? We're not just thinking of, oh, let's just solve this issue that we have now on this planet or on Earth. Or for humanity, like we're not just thinking of, oh yeah, now we have this solution. But it's as the indigenous said, what about the next generation? What about the next generation after that? What about the 7 generations? When you make a decision now for the planet, are you taking into consideration the longevity of humanity? You know, it may not be happening right now, but that's what cosmic order brings in. It's that understanding that we have within ourselves, right? It's just like the link, like we need to link back into our original creation, our original why we even chose to come to Earth, right? For the experience.
It sounds like we're working toward oneness, our connected oneness. Of course, we remain individuals, but there's a connection that we seem to have lost, you know, where we're forgetting how one we are, how the same we are, how, I don't know, a better word than connected.
Yes. So cosmic order is about connection. It's about oneness. It's about acceptance and allowance. It's, you know, it's part of the 7 seeds that we've talked about before of how we govern our lives, how we look at others. It doesn't matter of our skin or our culture or our religion or any of those outside circumstances. It's how do you lead your life? What kind of person do you want to be?
What do you think they mean by pathway? The pathway of you are in the pathway of cosmic order.
Because it's a frequency, it's an energy, it's not, it's coming in, right? So it's like, I guess some people talk about it as the light is coming in through cosmos, right? So this light that is emanating on the earth now, like we're in that path, right? So cosmic order is very much like that. We're in the path of this again. It cycles, right? Thank God it cycles.
Right.
Right? Because we can, if you take a look at evolution or you take a look at mass extinction on this planet, the earth was cycling. It would do that and then there'd be a mass extinction and then some would survive and it would change. And then something else would happen and there would be another mass extinction. So, you know, that cycles. So this cosmic order is like, it's like a cleansing. It's a reset. So we get, some people say 26,000 years, right? It's whatever that is for it to turn to come full circle in the universe or in our solar system as we are affected by that, the alignment of the stars in a specific pattern, right? And as it comes through, it offers humanity another reset.
So it's like, oh, they're not going to, the evolves, multidimensional beings aren't going to come and save us because that wouldn't benefit us. But there is this energy coming that is here, that is a leg up. We have an opportunity in this field of energy to avail ourselves, whereas in another 26,000 years or whenever, it might be a lot harder without that sweep of energy.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, right? I mean, it's a choice. We all get choices, and some of us may not even be aware of that choice or be so stuck in our woundedness and our ego that we don't even see it.
Right. So as we awaken, is there anything we can do for ourselves or for others to move into this new paradigm with, like, how do we avail ourselves of it?
Well, I think it's everything that's out there with those that are very heart-based, that want something more like clean up your heart, release whatever is in here that's a blockage or a hindrance or is keeping you from loving, caring, connectedness with other, right? Stop the judgment, stop all of that is pushing you away. You know, the denial of people, the judgment, the criticism, the anger, the hatred, the violence, that's all heart-based in a way that keeps us from being in the heart. So ask ourselves, are we being kind? Every day, are we being kind? I mean, that's the simplest thing. You know, you see somebody on the street, are you being kind? You have a conversation with somebody that you may be in disagreement with, but do you judge and flare up and be angry and annoyed at them? Or do you try to find that kindness place of hearing them? Because maybe there's something that they're saying is true, that you can acknowledge as truth, right?
Mhm.
That's like being kind. You're not creating division.
Yeah, it feels like self-control, self-moderation, and many of the things we've already talked about. Like, it's about taking responsibility for ourselves, truly committing, and really having the intention to live by the seven seeds. And that creates tremendous integrity. So we're not just emotional balls of energy running around bumping into each other and maybe causing a lot of havoc, but we're having our own sovereignty. And in that, we can ride this wave of
Mhm.
this cosmic order and help evolution of humanity and Earth. I think that sounds like a great idea.
And you know,
So,
it's like, let me just say that we talked about the veil, and I think that that's more out in the those that believe like we do, or those that function as we do in this capacity, right? Is that veil is thinning. Well, that veil is not even there. So as cosmic order comes in, we have much more access to who we have been in past lives and to our multidimensional beings that are connected to us. That may not be a past life or a future life, but that veil of disconnect that's always been there in some time of protection, you know, it's not there anymore. So as we have all this availability of connection outside of this physical form, that when you say, like, how do we do that? Like, that's another avenue in meditation, in finding what that is, and feeling your dreams, and whatever that is that feels like you have a leg up on connection in another dimension, right? Or in your own field of your guidance system.
mhm.
It's much more available to us now. You might need a tool to start you to understand it or get connected with it, but that's part of cosmic order, is offering us, like, we are right here.
Right. So they say it will take as long as it takes to disengage humanity from its past. It sounds like that could take a long time. Like, what does that mean? What do you make of that?
Well, there's different ways we can do personal disengagement. I think there's more coming out, like even in the Cosmic Travelers group, we're doing more collective, you
Mhm.
know, disengagement in timelines and cleaning ourselves up, and as a consciousness, you know, and then offering that to the masses so that it ripples effect. So, and there's more and more and more groups doing that, where they have a loving intention, where they are promoting something that's coming from the heart space and not just individual, right? So that there's that integration process of what's been happening. I don't know if I answered your question.
I think you've answered the question. I mean, it's going to take as long as it takes, and there's a lot to do. Is that what you're saying? There's just a lot
There's a
to.
lot. We've been here. I mean, now they're acknowledging, oh, it's not 300,000 years since they first discovered Lucy. It's now, we've been here 1 million or more years, and Neanderthal aren't as stupid as what they thought. That we had a brain, we have been working with concepts, and we understood the stars, and we worked with that. It's just that we have forgotten that. We have moved into this place of industry. We have moved into technology. We have forfeited, forgotten, denied, resisted in some way, all that has been wisdom.
Right.
Right. So we have all these choices that we need to be accountable for. I think a lot of them, I mean, we could be here another 100,000 years dealing with what we did in 1 million years, right? So, but there are ways, like this is escalating. So what I'm finding is that, how do I put it? It's like when you think of something that is negative, this is my personal experience. If you think of something that's negative, I can guarantee it's going to create something within the next 10 minutes that I'm not going to like.
Yes.
And it's a reminder, oh, we do not do that. Like, if you think of something negative, you better turn that switch off and say something kinder, or transfer that judgment into something else, because you will create it pretty immediately. When that veil is down, there is no, oh, let's just go see if they can get this straight in the next 3 days or 3 months, right? No, it's held accountable pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah, and good. I'm happy for that. Like, I think the quicker, the more we can see what's happening and go, oh, let's not do it this way. Like, this is worth having some check, having something shift about it. Yeah, I think that's good. Is there anything else you want to say, or the evolves want to say about freedom as we close this topic?
They would say that freedom exists in what they see for freedom for humans is something that they evolved through in their capacity. Many of them have been humans. So they would say that freedom for them is freedom of the mind. That it's that all that minutia, that being in physical form. It's like when the heart space isn't open and you're in this physical form, and you bring in all that information that comes in organically. It's not always thought about. And then it enters into the brain. It enters into the mind. If you have any woundedness in there, if you have any belief systems that don't agree with that, it starts the whole chain of, judgment and criticism, and then anger and violence and all of that. So freedom for them is us achieving freedom in our minds. Because if we can allow that, to think outside of the box, to do the 7 seeds within the mind, not just in the heart. How do we accept and allow? Because judgment doesn't usually come from the heart space. It comes from the mind space, right?
Right.
So freedom of the mind, freedom to explore and expand. And what they're saying is that what they're bringing in is that the indigenous people that have had this form of wisdom and had this form of freedom, they had plant medicine that for themselves, they would go into these other dimensions and these other connected places and all of that. And they would bring back wisdom. They would bring back insight. They would, they would hold sacred what was given to them. And what the evolves are referring to is that in the last several years, there's been more of that coming in a different way with psychedelics, in the approval of that, in the understanding on the psychology end of it, that something happens. These are not illegal drugs. These are something that brings in some form of connection and sacredness. So, even that is changing in our dynamics, and freeing the mind. Because if you are stuck in something that referred to like as PTSD, if you're stuck in a old pattern, an old belief system, something that you're obsessing about, when you take something that pops you out of that reality and you see it differently, you hold on to it. and life changes. Just like we were just talking about, or if you have a negative thought within 10 minutes, something's going to happen, right? If you see something different, if you perceive your life differently, if you understand in some way, whether it's through psychedelics or meditation or any of the numerous amounts of modalities that we have available to us now,
Yes.
right, that are accepted now, that if we tap into looking at our life from a different vantage point, life changes, just like it does if you have a negative thing. Life changes, in 10 minutes. It can change instantly. That's where miracles happen. And they're always available for us to tap into.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, really, right?
No,
Thank
that's it.
goodness for cosmic, and that we really came in at this time to change it. It's not just for us, it's for the oneness, it's for the whole, it's for the survival of Earth.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you. I think this has been a lovely conversation and a great way to end our 4-part series on freedom. So are we ready for announcements?
Yes, we are.
Well, you can reach Darlene at soulunion.com. You can reach me at livingwellbeing.net. Remember, we have a Cosmic Traveler session. It's a live event that meets on the third Sunday of each month. At this session, all will participate in a guided interactive meditation directly with the evolves. This episode that you are currently hearing is connected to the January 2024 live Cosmic Traveler session on freedom. The guided meditation and included information from the evolves will assist you as you explore this topic. To purchase a copy of this event, contact soulunion.com. You can also contact Darlene through soulunion.com to have payment instructions and the link to attend the live version that happens on the third Sunday. Cosmic Travelers has a Facebook page. You can search for it in groups, please, and you can submit your questions to Darlene on soulunion.com. We also have a YouTube channel. See below for all the instructions on how to access both of our YouTube channels. And I think that's it for today. Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
Melissa. Remember, you know more than you know.